So it's finally time. It's... Oh, we got a train coming in. But it's finally time to get our heavy modular frame factory done. So, as usual, I got most of it. I'm gonna... and I'll show, show it off at the end, like usual. We're gonna fly in. I thought it might be useful at first to kind of show off how I managed to do the trains. Because I got it in a decently small area. So I have the two... These are the two, four-part stations. Or four long stations. And then I put the two short ones here. And the rail kind of snakes through it. Where it gets complicated is over here. So this is where I have the output coming off on this first curve. But what I realized is then, actually, I might not need this bypass, thinking about it. Well, no, I do. Why don't? Actually, I don't think I need this bypass here. Because all the trains that are coming in are going to be going towards their stations. So there's no reason to have this. What I was worried about is the trains getting stuck at, the train's getting stuck. I want to keep that one there. Behind, when I eventually have to have a train carrying the heavy modular frames. That shouldn't be an issue. Yeah, no, that shouldn't be an issue because all the ones going to these will go left and snake around. Interesting. So that's how I get the rail stations. I kind of have them next to each other, and then the rail line snakes through it, and I have the output over there. The next thing, and I suggest this to anyone who's going to be building a giant factory like this, in between your train stations and where you have your belts, put, as we fly up, like a false floor. Because this is where I have like all my belts coming across and getting like organized, and they're all clipping into each other, so don't worry about that. But what's nice then is when you come up here, everything comes up nicely in these belts. So I highly recommend that. I'm glad I did that. Because originally I just did it for aesthetics, so it would look nice, like all the belts organized. But when I started like organizing the machines, before we head up, I need to grab plastic. But when I started putting down the machines and putting the belts for those, I realized like how important that is. But we're gonna fly up to the top. No, I can't have that. I'm gonna fly up top and start putting down manufacturers, so you can see how I did the layout. Come on. If I remember correctly. Facing this way. 1, 2. I think that's the spot. Once I get this first one down, that's the key. Yeah. Okay. Now we got this one down. We can start throwing some more down, but what surprised me about this is, what surprised me about this was how fast the stuff's building. So, like, I know that I'm building, I still have a bit of a cough. Clearly. But I know I'm building stuff to, like these factories to build parts like really fast. So back for more plastic. So I gave this power, and you know, I'm letting it run, thinking like, oh, it'll slowly work, and you know, it'll still be running by the time I'm finished, but at least won't be as crazy. The floors are like finishing production, like and getting backed up as fast as I can build them. It's insane. I mean, you can see, oh my god, just look at all those heavy modular frames. It's a thing of beauty. But so yeah, I'm very happy with how fast this thing is pumping them out. Oh, and so we're doing 46 per floor, and that comes to 184 manufacturers total. I actually have it down a pretty decent way. That it doesn't, oh my god, I'm sorry for coughing. It's all unprofessional. But I have it down a decent way where it doesn't actually take that long. The hard part at this point is getting the layout set. So once I have the layouts set, I blasted through these floors. You also kind of learn the distances. And then I always, to make sure, before I start putting all of them, I just put this here because you can see it'll clear it. But yeah, so we got I got a good setup. What's nice too is that I managed to keep a somewhat pretty square actually. Then there was. So again, I know I've mentioned it before. I follow. It's something else completely. But so I follow the news as far as the updates go. And so they just announced like what to expect from update 7. And so it's going to be a fast update, they said. You know, they're not going too crazy, which is fine. But the thing that really, I guess, affects me is they said the pink bamboo and forest are going to be reworked. And you can clearly see above the manufacturers, that's where we are. Which, just my luck, you know. We finally, after all this time, get to build in the heavy modular frame factory. And they said this area is going to be reworked. What really worries me is they said it's similar to the Spire Coast. If that's the case, that's bad news, because that's, you know, that was heavy redoing of the map. So that begs the question then, what are we going to do about that? And my answer to that is nothing. We're just gonna, I can get rid of this. We're just gonna let it play out. When we get closer to the update, so I don't think they're gonna do it in update 7, because they said update 7 is very minor, and it's coming out next month on my experiment, you know, on the branch I'm on, and that's only a couple weeks, so they're not redoing a whole biome in a couple weeks. That being said, as they start announcing what they are doing, I will, I don't think I'm gonna move. I think I'm just gonna keep everything where it is. unless it's like, if it's major redoing, then I may consider it. The only one I'm considering is the hub, but I think it's high enough that it should be fine. Because I built it off the ground. But I'm gonna see what they say, because if they say they're like scrapping this and starting from like scratch, which is what they did with the Spire Coast, then I may consider crap. Then I may consider moving stuff. I don't think I would move this, but we'll see. And then, yeah, the hub I'm definitely going to be cautious of. But for now, we're just going to continue. I mean, this is a problem that playing an early access game, especially on the experimental branch, you're going to have is, they change stuff. And the question is, do you not do stuff because they change things, or do you just do it anyway? And my answer is just do it anyway. To show you how I did the belts, actually I'll just use this as an example. Come on. Well, we're not. So I ran central belts for everything, like that, and then like that. So then the next level, that needs to snap better. So that, and then this one goes here, and then that'll spread. So that's the belts. There's four layers of that. And then for the power, what I've actually been doing, and I like, is if you look, it almost looks like there's no wires. And it's because I ran them underneath. And I like that, so let's show off a quick example of it, and then we're gonna do a little speedy up montage. And then we'll come back for the exterior. So wire that to there. This is kind of annoying, because we gotta go from underneath, fly out, and then connect to it. And then connect to that one. We fly back down, and connect that. That's what it'll let me. So, that's how we do the power. I'm gonna get that and the belts going. And then, once this floor is done, what I think I'll probably do is I'll get this floor done, I'll put the roof level on, and then I'll come back and we'll, start putting an exterior on. Alright, so I finished the 4th floor. So it's time to put an exterior on this. So, what I'm thinking... I just want to see, what are these? It's a little bit big, but it's not much. Okay. Come on, you stupid horror pack. Get power so I can fly up. So what I'm thinking... I think I want the big... With 3 of those. And maybe 5 of those. Again. So I'm doing my usual of trying to make it look somewhat like there we'll just go straight down. Yeah, I like that. We'll do somewhat of a frame like, you know, like that place, that one there, but not the exact same thing. Yeah. Or 2. Yeah, it's fine. So I'm going to keep the frame small on this one. There, and then we'll do one over here. So that'll go across. So for the main look of the building is the question. That I have not decided on. Bring up this one here. There's 1. We'll do this as 2. Let's go to our walls. So I know I used a lot of the steel panels. I'm gonna keep doing that because when I get to like the copper and the electronics, I'm gonna use a lot of the orange. So a lot of the like more like structural looking stuff is made out of the steel. Excuse me. And the other one is made out of the orange. I think that is 4. So what I'm thinking... Let's see. Because each wall, or each level is 5 high. So maybe what I'll do... Okay, I know what I'll do. Yeah, that'll go to there. Corners are going to be solid, I think. And then we'll have... Actually, no. No. Come up 2 there. Then 4. Yeah. So that it almost looks like the steel walls are framing this. It's not, but that's what it almost looks like. And then at the halfway point, we'll do another thing of walls. It's gonna be uneven there. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. We'll go to here. So what I can do... out of steel. And... 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's going to be the general layout we got going here. I'll have this big kind of frame around everything. And then, oh, we can do the lower level. I know I'm out of steel, so I'm going to go take the train to go get more. Then down here, I think I'm going to do... something similar, but out of concrete. So what that'll look like. Pop that up there. So let's bring up our windows again. Oh, hold on. I'm just doing the door frame. Boom. Let's go 3. Go over. Yeah, it'll be a little uneven, but that's fine. Now what we'll do is panel windows. Put the panel window there. And that's fine. I know it doesn't really look like much on the bottom, but that's fine because the bottom's not really the focus. You know, it's more just this level's kind of like the foundation, and then the up here is more the focus anyway. So, do we even really need that? Yeah, I do. So, so that's more or less what this is going to look like. You know, it's the usual, as I go, I'll probably change things up, because what happens is as I'm building, you know, everything looks nice and practical right now, but then you start building and then all of a sudden it's stuff doesn't work that way. So I'll, you know, I'll get to work, I'll get this built, and then we'll come back and take a nice look at the finished product. Is that the right way? It was not. There we go. So let's get this thing done. And I'll be back with that. Okay, so we're finally done. The big project's finally done. So you can see, this is how I did our belts for here. We got our 4 belts coming in, all down the middle at different levels. We're using the heavy encased frame uh, recipe. Which I think it saves us on resources. It uses more concrete, but who cares? Concrete is not an issue. It's actually what I'm short in right now is steel pipes, but I think that's just how it is, which is fine. But so we come down here. You can see this is how I set up the. Oh wait, hold on. Let me go back up. I'll show you the full floor of what everything looks like. So each floor, we have 46 manufacturers. So what actually happens with these belts is the frames and encased beams come up the middle and then split here and go to either side, and then the pipes and concrete are split. They come up the sides and then merge in the middle. So that's how I did the belts on this. But if we come down, so we're doing our little factory tour here. For our trains, so, you know, we got our 4 stations next to each other. The way I did it is they actually, like, the line snakes through everything, and then there's a separate offshoot for the output. What we want to do, we want to fly all the way over to where our power is. I want to see, what are we doing electric? Electric's not doing bad. I think that's actually because the trains are kind of giving it a minute to, it's almost like buffer. But we want to do our math real quick. So we have 184 manufacturers. Each one is making 2, or no spaces. Each one can make 2.813. Why isn't the calculator working? 184. Oh, because it's not X, it's star. It's 2.183. So our potential rate is, was it 517.592? I will keep reiterating it every time. That's potential if everything's stocked. I will say I can tell the production rate because I keep saying it. As soon as I finished the line, like, it was backed up. It was crazy. So let's write that potential production. Or no. I do potential parts per min is, what is it? 17.592. We'll switch our layout. I like that layout. So that's the inside. So the way the outside came out is like this. I really like this. It really, when I see it, it really makes me think of like the reinforced frame. It's nice that you can kind of see the regular frame one over there. And again, I know they look similar, and I know a lot of my buildings have kind of looked similar lately. Well, a few of them have, but it's because we're using like steel and iron based stuff. But when we get into computers, I'm going to use a lot more orange. But yeah, this is how each floor looks. And what's nice is the factory is actually square. So each side looks exactly the same. But yeah, so we finally got to this point. And as I briefly mentioned, they said this area is supposed to be remade or changed out. So I'm still thinking about what I want to do. But this came out great. It's running. It's actually fully backed up, which is, again, crazy. But so next time, as we're sitting here, next time, we need to start with copper. We're going all the way back to the beginning. And it's time to do the copper plant because we're going to start. The next part I want to start getting the chain automated for is computers. So we got to start with copper. But next time I'm going to do something a little bit different. I really liked way back in the screw episode. I made like a little sign out front that kind of looks like the screw, the bends the screws are in, and I want to try to go around and put some more of those up because I really like the way that looked. So my plan for next time is to go around making some signs, and I figured I would use that to kind of answer some like just general questions while I'm doing it. So, just kind of a little bit about myself at that time. But that'll be next time, and I will see everyone later.